Archangel Michael says. A mysterious pull has always tethered you to that home. Even when you tried to leave, distractions, delays, or divine disruptions stepped in like invisible hands blocking your exit. It wasn't coincidence, it was heavenly orchestration at its finest. There's a presence in that place that watches over you, more ancient than the walls, more sacred than any stone. Your house holds the echo of a whisper that only angels understand. At night, when everything stills, the energy shifts, and what feels like silence is actually divine protection wrapping around your spirit. Long ago, before you ever laid eyes on it, an angel marked that ground. Not with words, but with light, blessing the soil, the air, and every space within it. That home became a vessel for your purpose, a resting place for your battles, and a stronghold for the storms to come. You think you chose that house, but no. That house chose you because the angel knew what was coming. They saw your future long before you did and designed the environment you'd need to survive what others couldn't. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Even in your hardest days, when tears stained your pillow and confusion clouded your thoughts, that house never turned against you. It groaned, it cracked, it aged, but it never crumbled. Because something supernatural was woven into its very structure. Sometimes, you might feel watched, but not by danger. That's the gaze of guardians who refuse to let evil enter. You're not paranoid. You're protected. The footsteps you sometimes hear at night are not of this world. They are echoes of divine patrol, angels circling like sentinels around a fortress. They do not rest because your destiny is too vital to risk even one night of exposure. You've likely questioned why things went wrong when you tried to relocate. Why deals fell apart, why homes you liked suddenly became unavailable, or why your gut said, no, at the last minute. That's not fear. That's divine interference. Type Amen to get blessing 444. When your name was whispered to the angel in charge of your journey, a signal was sent. The angel descended and searched, seeking not just a roof but a realm. The place you're in now was bathed in light long before you crossed the threshold. Every corner of your house carries memory and energy. Some are from you, but others are from those who never physically lived there. They were sent to visit, to bless, to infuse. They came through windows unseen and left miracles behind. The reason you're still there, even when you've outgrown parts of it or yearned for more, is because the mission tied to that place is still incomplete. There's one more breakthrough waiting within its walls. One more miracle tucked in a drawer you haven't opened in years. The soil beneath your feet has absorbed your tears, yes, but also your laughter. It remembers your declarations, your breakdowns, your late-night prayers. Your house knows more about you than your closest friend. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Sometimes, angels mark places to anchor your timeline. Your house is one such anchor. To move too soon would be to shift before the story finishes. There's a visitor coming, one who will change everything. The house must witness this encounter, for the angel who sealed it will also witness the fulfillment. Archangel Michael says. This house was chosen not just for comfort, but for covenant. A sacred agreement that what began in the shadows will be revealed in the light. Your house is the birthplace of your next elevation. It's been tested. Storms have rocked its windows. People have tried to enter with dark intentions, but they were always repelled. You might not have seen it with your eyes, but you've felt the invisible shield. Type Amen to get blessing 606. There's a reason some people feel unsettled the moment they step inside. Their spirit reacts, not because of negativity, but because it senses the angelic gate they were never permitted to cross. Even pets act strangely when they first enter. Some grow silent. Others stare at corners. That's not superstition, it's sensitivity to what lies beyond human sight. You've decorated the walls, changed the curtains, maybe even cursed the creaky stairs, but underneath it all, the angel's touch remains. They didn't choose luxury. They chose legacy. A revelation is stored inside that house. It's hidden in a seemingly ordinary place, a book, a drawer, an old photograph. One day soon, your eyes will fall upon it, and everything will click. Type Amen to get blessing 717. The house you're in has endured things you don't even know. It was spiritually tested before you arrived. Its past owners were not accidental either, they were part of a timeline that led to you. You've likely wondered why certain dreams only come when you sleep under that specific roof. It's because there, your spirit is more connected. The frequencies are higher, the veil thinner. You are still there because the angel who placed you knows the exact moment you're meant to leave. And that moment hasn't come yet. To leave too soon would mean missing the encounter of a lifetime. A guest will arrive unexpectedly. It may not be today or tomorrow, but they are coming. When they do, a secret will be handed to you, and it will unlock your next chapter. Type Amen to get blessing 848. The angel marked your address in the realm where maps don't exist. You are not just someone in a house, you are the keeper of divine territory. There are spiritual coordinates tied to where you sit. When you walk barefoot on that floor, something activates. You are receiving transmissions you don't yet fully understand. The battle you've been fighting isn't just physical or emotional. It's spiritual, and the house has absorbed part of the blow for you. You've been shielded more than you know. The walls have muffled words meant to curse you. They've softened blows. They've caught tears before they could fall too far. You're not just living there. You're being protected there. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Archangel Michael says, if you saw what this house has done for you in the spirit, you'd weep from gratitude. It has argued on your behalf, fought invisible wars, and silenced energies sent to harm you. A divine lock exists on your door. Not even the most skilled manipulator can cross your threshold without your spirit noticing. That gut feeling you get, it's confirmation. Soon, your house will host a gathering, even if small. But what will happen during that moment will shake the foundation of your life, in a good way. Words will be spoken that will alter your direction forever. The person who once mocked where you live will return, not to criticize, but to seek your help. They'll walk in with pride, but leave with humility, understanding that you were never stuck, you were stationed. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. Your home is under divine surveillance. Heaven has eyes on it. Even when you feel unseen, you are deeply observed. There is a staircase to destiny buried in that place. You may think of it as an old house, or a simple flat, but to heaven, it is a gate to your next lifetime. There's a sound you'll hear soon. It will not be loud, but it will be unmistakable. It may come through a floorboard, a sudden whistle in the air, or a knock when no one's at the door. That sound will mark a shift. It will mean your purpose in that house is nearing its climax. A sign that the angel is ready to reveal what has been hidden since the beginning. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. If your house feels heavy lately, it's not because something dark moved in, it's because something holy is preparing to be birthed. The pressure is divine. A letter, document, or key will soon arrive that proves why you had to remain there. It will silence every doubt and confirm what your spirit always whispered. Some doors have remained closed because you are still in training. Your house has been your teacher. Through its silence, leaks, and shadows, you've learned resilience. When the moment comes, you will leave not with sadness, but with honor. You will walk out not just as a tenant, but as someone who has fulfilled a prophecy. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. This isn't just where you live. It's where destiny was planted and watched over. Where angels visited and where blessings were stored. Soon, heaven will give you the go-ahead. A sign will come that tells you it's time. But until then, know this, every second longer you remain is infused with meaning. Do not rush what God has positioned. Do not grieve delays, they are rehearsals. What you think is stillness is preparation. And when you do step out for the final time, you will leave behind a glow so strong that the house itself will remember your spirit. The next person to enter will feel the shift and be touched by your lingering power. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. The angel who selected that house for you did so knowing the timelines you'd have to endure. Not just your victories, but your seasons of silence, sickness, betrayal, and rebuilding. Your house wasn't just shelter, it was your secret sanctuary. There's a reason why, during moments of heartbreak, you found a strange kind of comfort simply being within those walls. The energy held you even when no one else did. That wasn't just energy, it was the divine pulse of angelic presence wrapping around you. The next few days will stir something unusual in your home. Items may shift. Lights may flicker. Not out of malice, but as subtle signs that the angel is activating something for your next stage. Pay attention to sounds, especially at night or early morning. Even in your sleep, your soul will begin receiving symbols and visions. These are not dreams, they're downloads, messages from the angel who first claimed that space for you. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. You didn't survive just because of your willpower. You survived because that house stood in spiritual warfare beside you. The very structure absorbed so much pain to keep it from consuming your heart. A person tried to speak destruction into your life from inside that house once. But they were spiritually muted. You might not have noticed then, but that's why their plans never fully worked. There's a hidden spiritual map above the ceiling of one room in your house. Though you can't see it, your spirit aligns with it every time you pray or think deeply there. This is how the angel continues to guide your decisions. The angel who chose your house is not gone. They didn't leave once you moved in. They stood still in corners, followed you from room to room, and even now, they prepare the house for a specific event soon to take place. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. You are still in that house because time hasn't yet opened the gate to your departure. The moment that happens, the shift will be so sudden it will feel like wind lifted you out. You won't force the change, it will flow. The angel knows you're tired. They see how many times you've asked to move, upgrade, escape, or evolve. But they also see what's trying to reach you before you leave, and until that divine delivery happens, your departure is on pause. An old item in your house, a painting, a coat, a broken clock, is more than it seems. It holds part of your story, one that hasn't yet been told. Soon, something will lead you to that item, and it will trigger a cascade of clarity. You have not stayed too long. You have stayed exactly long enough. And the one day when the divine instruction comes to step out, you will realize the purpose of every year you waited. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. Someone is going to ask to visit your home. It won't seem important at first. But their presence will stir something inside your walls, something ancient, something locked. This person will unknowingly activate the angel's final instruction. You'll feel it, deep in your stomach. The conversation will start casual, but it will end with a revelation that transforms everything. You've often felt like the house has moods. That's not your imagination. Homes marked by angels are sensitive to energy shifts, because they are living containers of divine timing. Even when you left for trips or errands, there was always a part of you itching to return. Not just to the routine, but to the safety. Your body knows where it's most spiritually aligned, and that's why you've always been drawn back to this sacred place. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. You might have decorated it simply. Or perhaps it still looks like it did when you moved in. Either way, the beauty of the house was never in its structure, it was in its story. One night soon, you'll feel an urge to stay awake longer than usual. Don't resist it. The angel will reveal something in that stillness. Perhaps through a whisper, a light breeze, or a sudden realization that cracks through your understanding. This is not just a story of a person who couldn't move. It's the chronicle of a divine soul being held in place by sacred design. There are people who will enter your life soon and ask how you knew where to be. You'll smile, not knowing exactly how to explain that an angel chose it. And they didn't choose randomly. They measured time, terrain, lineage, and light. And after considering all, they brought you to the place that would hold your storms and your stars. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. The neighbor who walks by your home and glances in has felt the power there. Sometimes they pause longer than needed. It's not curiosity, it's a pull. Even they subconsciously feel what's within. Your home has been a hospital for your spirit. A recovery center. A launch pad. And very soon, it will be the place where your voice changes and your journey ignites like never before. Archangel Michael says, do not curse your current address. Do not grieve your delay. You are standing at a spiritual threshold, and what's coming will shake the ground so deeply that even your house will tremble in gratitude. Soon, you'll hear a knock, not physical, but energetic. Something will open in the atmosphere, and you will know, the angel is lifting the anchor. And your spirit will rise, not with resistance, but with release. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. A final blessing is about to be released in that very space. Before you leave, heaven will honor it. This last reward will be so unexpected that it may feel surreal, but it is the reward of endurance. The curtain is lifting. The final act is approaching. And when it ends, you will walk out not as a tenant, but as a chosen one who fulfilled an angel's vision. Soon, your story will inspire someone who stands where you once stood, confused, tired, desperate to leave. And you will say to them, "Wait. That place is not a prison. It is a passageway." And then, your footsteps will echo down a new hallway. But your old home will carry your light forever. Because once a house is chosen by an angel, it remains holy, even when empty. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. The moment is drawing closer than you realize. Something you've been praying for, something that's lingered just outside your grasp, is being finalized within the very walls of your home. And the reason it's taken this long? It had to be birthed in that exact place. No other space could carry its weight. The air around you will begin to shift. Not dramatically, but delicately. A sudden stillness, a subtle lightness, or the feeling that someone invisible has entered the room and placed their hand gently on your shoulder. Don't ignore the urge to rearrange something. It could be your furniture, your closet, or a box from your childhood. That urge will not be random, it will be spiritual alignment. The angel is nudging you to prepare the home for final transformation. At the moment you open that old drawer, move that picture frame, or lift the corner of a rug you rarely touch, something ancient will release. A memory, a symbol, a realization will break forth, and your journey will never feel the same again. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. There is an imprint on the wall only angels can see. It marks where they stood the first night you cried yourself to sleep. They didn't leave. They stood right there as a silent protector, even when you believed no one was listening. That marked spot is sacred. Even if painted over, the divine sees it clearly. It will remain there until your spirit fully understands the reason behind that chapter of suffering. You thought the house witnessed your weakest season, but heaven knows it was also where your greatest spiritual growth occurred. Strength doesn't look like smiling. Strength looks like choosing to stay when everything screams for you to run. Your house was never a place of delay. It was a place of spiritual construction. Foundations weren't just being built in your surroundings, they were being poured deep within your soul. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. Someone is going to comment on the energy in your home soon. They'll say it feels calming, peaceful, or strangely familiar. They won't know it, but their spirit will be responding to the angelic imprint within. You've done more than just survive in that house. You've spiritually expanded. And that expansion created a force field around the entire space. It's no coincidence that others seem to heal when they visit you. They leave lighter, inspired, or moved, because your home is under divine influence. It's been absorbing pain and converting it into light for years. And now, that light is ready to be returned to you tenfold. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. The blessing that's coming is not small. It's not basic. It's the kind that shifts your lineage. It's something that was always meant to find you, but the coordinates required you to stay in place until now. You are standing in the exact spiritual longitude required for this miracle. That's why you're still in that house. It's not stagnation, it's sacred synchronization. Soon, a letter, call, or face-to-face conversation will open a portal. You'll hear something that flips the script on everything you thought was finished. The angel has been orchestrating this behind the veil. And once it comes, your spirit will know it's time to move, not in fear, but in fulfillment. The house won't be abandoned. It will be honored as holy ground. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. There are echoes in your hallway at times, not scary, but distant. Those echoes are spiritual reflections of the moments when your soul shifted without anyone else knowing. Those silent breakthroughs were recorded, and now they are returning to reward you. There's a cupboard, a drawer, or even a box that holds something you forgot about. Soon, you'll be led to it. And when you open it, you'll feel a strange sense of completion. That item, that note, that object was part of your spiritual anchor. And its rediscovery will release you from the invisible tie that's kept you rooted. This isn't goodbye yet, but the angel is beginning to open the gates. Your final days in that house will be unlike any before. You'll feel more clear-headed, more purposeful, more watched than ever. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. Even the birds near your window have known. They've sung louder during spiritual transitions. They've gathered during moments you were unaware held divine weight. One day soon, as you look around your space, it will feel different. Not because it changed, but because you did. The angel's work is reaching completion. You've grown past the pain that once trapped you. And now the house feels smaller not because of its size, but because your spirit has expanded far beyond the container it once. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. This is not just a message. It's a final confirmation. You are not crazy. You were never stuck. You were chosen to remain because what you carried could only grow within sacred walls. The angel didn't just choose a house. They chose a location of spiritual resistance. Your home stood as a fortress during times when others would have fallen. And now, heaven is smiling. Because the assignment is nearly done. The house will soon pass the baton, and your feet will begin to step onto the soil of your next miracle. When you close the door for the last time, do not mourn. Leave a whisper of gratitude. Because every wall, every corner, every floorboard held your becoming. Type Amen to get blessing 2727.